Hi, it's Daiki. I'm a Japanese living in Finland. I've lived in Finland for 6 years now, and I think I socialize myself into Finnish society in various ways, including manners, habits, languages, way of thinking, and lifestyle during these 6 years. However, there are still small moments where I kinda get confused in my life in Finland. Of course, I still have a high sense of value developed in Japan, so those small confusions probably come from the early experience there. So in this video, I'm gonna talk about 3 things and moments I still get confused in Finland. Please note that what I'm introducing here are not complaints, but cultural differences, and of course, they don't necessarily apply to other people. The first one is gift culture. This is not the cultural difference I encounter on a daily basis, but I still don't necessarily follow Finnish way when it comes to giving gift. One example is souvenir from trips. I think in general, in Japan, it's common to buy souvenirs for your family, relatives, people at your workplace, and even neighbors when you go for a trip, especially somewhere far away. When we visited somewhere as a family trip, my mom had a list of souvenirs so that we wouldn't forget. It included our grandparents, close relatives, close friends, close neighbors, colleagues, and so on. That's what I also used to do when I was back in Japan for holiday, in order to check how many souvenirs I should get for my friends in Finland. Also, when I was working for a traditional company in Japan, many people brought small souvenirs such as an assortment of chocolates or cookies to the office after holidays. So I remember on the first working day after the long holidays, we got those small sweets brought by different people who traveled somewhere. However, in Finland, this is not as common as in Japan. I go back to Japan for holidays every summer, and I always buy some bags of Japanese sweets and leave them at our office so that my colleagues can try and taste them with coffee. But at some point, I realized none of other Finnish coworkers do that. I know most people travel abroad during holidays, but I haven't really seen anyone bringing souvenirs to work. It's not like they are cold or boring. It's just not a common habit at many workplaces here in Finland, at least from my experience. Likewise, it seems my Finnish friends don't really buy souvenirs to their friends as well. This gift culture applies to not only souvenir but also many other occasions as well. I can't introduce all of them since there are a wide variety of occasions, but one clear example would be wedding. When you attend your friend's wedding in Japan, you are supposed to bring 30,000 Japanese yen in cash, so around 210 to 220 euros as of today's exchange rate. If it's your close relative, then you are expected to bring even more. And in return for that, the couple who receive money prepare some gift for the guests at the wedding ceremony. In Finland, there aren't any fixed rule about specific amount of money you are supposed to bring to the wedding. Some people buy things like furniture or electric appliances based on what the couple wants instead of money. Many people send money through online transaction rather than bringing cash, which was surprising when I first knew it. So in a way, the process is more streamlined. So I grew up in a country where the gift culture is deeply ingrained, and people follow, or at least are expected to follow, the unique custom at every occasion. On the other hand, in Finland, things seem to be much more simple. Of course, Finns give gifts on various occasions, but I feel things are done in easier and simpler ways here. In general, I like it. In Finland, it doesn't require as much from individuals as in Japan, and it's also up to how each individual wants to do, not like everyone follows the custom. At the same time, due to my background I mentioned, experiencing the Finnish way sometimes makes me feel a bit unsatisfactory. But as you know, it's not good or bad. These feelings come from a cultural difference and it's interesting to experience both. So basically, I follow the ways which locals do, but this difference in gift culture is one thing I still get confused from time to time in Finland. The second one is hierarchy. I think this is something you can relatively easily imagine what I mean. In general, people say Finland is a society with low hierarchy, and I agree with it. You can call a teacher or boss by their first name, and at work, people from different career levels interact casually with each other. When I studied my degree at the Finnish university and also when I started working for a Finnish company, I was a bit surprised how casual the communication and the behavior can be, regardless of your gender, age, and position, because it was quite different from my experience at schools and workplaces in Japan. I've lived in Finland for 6 years now and I'm now used to it and taking it for granted in most settings. However, from time to time, I encounter a situation where I'm not sure if I can be casual and get kinda confused. A few months ago, a person of high position in my company visited our office. I attended a lunch meeting with him and other young employees. Even though I knew the organization was quite flat and can talk casually with pretty much everybody, I was still thinking if I should behave more politely since he was someone in a very high position. While waiting for him in the room with other colleagues, my Chinese colleague and I were wondering things like, should we stand up when he arrives to the room? On which seat he's supposed to sit? Should we let him go get food first? Should we pour water into his glass? And so on. Then our Finnish colleagues were like, come on, this is Finland, you guys are thinking too much, you can take it easy. After that person in a high position arrived, I realized my Finnish colleagues were right. He was frank and didn't even care the small manners. He made us go get food and drink first, and we talked casually about work. There is another example. I had an opportunity to have one-on-one dinner with a famous Finnish business person. In theory, I knew it would be a casual meeting, but still I was a bit doubting like if I can just go in the same way as I meet my friend. I asked one of my Finnish friends if there are any specific manners and things to bear in my mind, because he is much older than me and has a high social status. If it was in Japan, I would follow at least minimum manners, such as the seating position, how I dress, and how I speak. Then my friend advised me to behave as usual. Her opinion was that in Finland, most of those of high socioeconomic status prefer casual communication. I was a bit nervous before the dinner, but then it turned out to be a fun, casual dinner. I was thinking a bit too much. I'm getting used to the low hierarchical communication in Finnish society, but as I introduced, there are some moments where I haven't fully become accustomed yet. The last thing is the moment when someone sends me off after meeting up with the person. This is such a small thing and it might be more like something I find it funny rather than confusing. Let's say you meet your friend, have a nice time and you take a train back home. Your friend kindly comes to the train station to say bye. The train comes, you say bye and start walking for a train. Right after you leave the place and look back, then your friend is already gone or already moving away immediately after saying bye. This happened to me many times when I meet my Finnish friends, and it wasn't anything like I was shocked, but I was a bit surprised by how simple and, in a way, rational it is. Now, some of you might be thinking like, what's wrong with it? It's normal. There's nothing wrong with it, but I usually stay a bit and if possible try to actually see someone off. Of course, I don't wait until that person becomes completely invisible, but try to see the person getting in a car, bus, train or whatever and leaves the place if it doesn't take too long. I'm not sure if this is the case for most Finns, but I decided to introduce this since some of my Japanese friends who live in Finland also had the same experience. Maybe it's a small cultural difference, and of course it also depends on the person and also the situation, so probably I cannot generalize. Maybe you guys can comment if you have a similar experience in Finland or how you think about it as a Finnish person. That's all for today. Thank you for watching and hope to see you in my next video. Moikka!